Patrick Flanigan, P-A-T-R-I-C-K. I am a professional exhibition shooter. I have evolved that title and that name into extreme sports shooting. I thought that was good in his truck. You better switch up to something a little bit softer, like a tennis ball. Just like that.
Part performer, part skilled shooter, Patrick Flanigan is the latest in what has been a historic line of Winchester exhibition shooters. But Patrick does things a little bit differently. His goal, to transform the world of exhibition shooting into an extreme sport, a high-octane, high-adrenaline shotgunning experience.
At the age of about 6 years old, my father started introducing myself and some of my brothers to the outdoors. And we used to tag along with Dad, walking behind him on rabbit hunts and squirrel hunts or chasing them out to the duck blind. And from the first day of the first hunt, and my first hunt that I remember was a rabbit hunt. And just from that day, watching my dad shoot and the speed of it all and the challenge of it, I just got hooked instantly. But at about the age of 12, a buddy and his father took me out to a club outside of Oshkosh, where I'm from, and I went out and shot some skeet and trap, and I wasn't that good at it. I missed a lot of targets, and I was like, wow, this is a challenge, but I chased it down, and by about the age of 16, I was doing pretty well, cleaning up a few clubs and a few skeet tournaments. So never entered into anything professional, never really wanted to. Just wanted to hunt, just wanted to shoot.
We're out on the range with Patrick Flanigan, Winchester's exhibition shooter. Patrick, thanks for having us.
Hey,
really
Chad, thanks
appreciate
for
it.
coming out, guys.
Exhibition shooting is such a cool sport. Kind of tell us what it takes to get ready and get into the routine that you do.
Sure. I want to see exhibition shooting and extreme sports shooting recognized like any professional sport. And like any professional sport, you got to stretch out a little bit and you've got to get warmed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off just throwing up one clay target, stretching out the arm a little bit. If we hit one clay target, Chad, we're in good shape. We'll move on and try two later on. All right, buddy?
Okay.
We'll throw one clay target up in the air. If we hit this with this Winchester Super X2, we're doing pretty good. So there's just that one clay target.
All over it.
And we'll try two clay targets, stretch it out a little bit more. Just like that. And Chad, we'll see if we can't skip 3 and move on to 4. Just like that, Chad, stretching out the arm a little bit.
Making that look a little easy.
I'm having fun, buddy.
The word athlete is not generally used with people who shoot for a living. Those of us who do shoot know very much so that these people are athletes. Patrick is no exception to that rule. Patrick is a big guy. He has a size 12 foot, I know, because I had to buy him some waders. It's one thing to be able to shoot 10 or 11 targets out of the air, but to throw them yourself, you have to be strong. The delivery has to be perfect.
Nope.
Launching 11 targets is like threading a football through 2 defenders to your receiver at 30 yards. It's very difficult to do.
I've got no ego about anything I'm doing. If I'm missing targets, I'll be the first one to turn around and ask the guy what I did wrong. What we just did was we shot from the shoulder, we shot from the hip.
Right.
And that's just some basic shooting. Guys are doing that stuff all the time. To make this more of an extreme sports shooting thing, what I'll do is we'll make it a little more tricky. We have the shoulder, we have the hip. So I'm gonna throw out one single clay target just like this, turn that gun upside down,
There it
and
is.
shoot that clay target. And make it a little bit harder to make up for that first one, just like so. Shooting a double upside down above your head, make it a little more tricky.
All right, now, when a guy shoots in a traditional manner,
Right.
he's looking over that front bead,
Sure.
trying to focus on the target.
Sure.
When you turn your gun upside down, what are you doing?
I'm playing pool upside down, basically. I'm lining up my shot like I would in pool. That's like I'm kind of pointing and pushing into the targets. 12 years old, missing clay targets on a trap and ski field. I couldn't handle that. I couldn't stomach that. I had to get out and go, what did I do wrong? I had to ask somebody. It all comes down to, asking questions, getting advice, going to guys that, are professionals. And practice, just repetition, continuous shooting. Even now in the sport of extreme sports shooting, I am practicing 150,000 rounds a year. So I've got a lot to learn and I've got a lot of practicing to do. Chad, when you're shooting 150,000 rounds a year, you can get a headache.
Starts thumping.
So I like to carry in my shooting vest a bottle of aspirin. One day during the show, I'm sitting there going, man, you know, I'm running out of targets to shoot, but I've got this bottle of aspirin, so I thought it'd be fun to shoot some aspirin. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna throw one up in here and see if I can shoot it.
Patrick Flanigan loves what he does as much as anybody I know. And that shows in his performances.
Yo, watch closely. We're gonna throw that up in the air, just like that, and shoot the aspirin.
Wow.
Headaches are gone, buddy. Headaches are gone. Extreme sports shooting is basically I evolved the sport of exhibition shooting into what I call extreme sport shooting, and it's catered towards the youth. The whole big extreme thing, the extreme games, extreme sports that's so big right now, and being that I want to bring, you know, a safe and fun attention, a greater attention to the shooting sports, we've got to get out there and we've got to get into the youth. I was about 22 years old, and I was in college. My background's in business marketing, and I was in school, and you know, always, like I said earlier, always been a diehard shooter, diehard hunter. I carried, you know, hunt magazines in my book bag instead of paying attention sometimes. In class, I'd be reading hunt magazines, but you know, I came across, you know, different articles and different ads about some shooters and trick shooters and stuff going on, and you go all the way back to the late 1800s, the greatest exhibition shooters of all time. Annie Oakley, Buffalo Bill. Coming into the 1900s, Ed Topperwine, and in the 1950s, Herb Parsons. Knowing that I was able to do some of this stuff, I wanted to put together this formula, this game plan to go out and actually make this passion into a career. I said, you know what, I'm gonna chase this down, I'll make this dream become a reality.
Most shotgunners will never put the use and abuse on a shotgun like you do.
Sure.
You said this gun had how many rounds through it?
Over 200,000 now.
Wow, that's amazing. What do you do to keep your gun running? I mean, I love asking competitive shooters this.
Right.
How often do you clean that gun?
You know, I don't clean this gun as often as you should, and maybe that's because in the back of my mind I'm going, hey, if it breaks, I get a free one. And it is not just that. No, it's because I put so much of my trust into this gun. It is so reliable. I've ran this gun 4,500 rounds without cleaning it.
Wow.
And the only thing I do to keep it running is I drop my Hoppy's gun oil, of course, in here in the tracks. I keep it wet, I keep it running.
Yeah.
Keep it oiled up, and that baby just keeps going. One of the most recent records I set was on April 3rd, 2007. I set a record with the Winchester Super X3 for shooting 12 rounds in 1.42 seconds. It's a speed record. Aside of it being a very fast shotgun, there is a little bit to me as a shooter being able to pull that trigger that fast. And what I have found to be the reason for that is that my background of drumming and percussion playing.
Do you want to hear Pat Flanigan play another drum solo as I do? How about Wipeout?
I got the music going on in my head. I'm hearing things that, you know, if I was to relay verbally, people would be like, wow, this guy's crazy. I've always got this rhythm going on in my head. I'm hearing, you know, I've just got that beat. I'm hearing that beat, and I work my show to that beat.
Winchester's Patrick Flanigan is a man on a mission. He's taking exhibition shooting, turning it upside down, and trying to infuse a youth movement. This is not Annie Oakley.
That's right, baby.